videos ko na mas better, yun yung panoorin ninyo. Hopefully na sana naintindihan niyo yung process. Yan. So, dati kasi yun yung ginagamit ko na videos para mas naintindihan ko yung mga pathways natin. So, for me, mas madali ko siyang naintindihan. I'm hoping na sana madali nyo rin siyang naintindihan. Nakita nyo sa course natin? Yan. Nasa ano po siya? Course natin, lecture course, lipids, yung name ng folder. So, I uploaded 5 videos. Particularly, first, we have the cellular respiration, glycolysis, Krebs cycle, beta oxidation, and we have the electron transport chain. Hoping na, panoorin nyo siya in sequence. Yan. Then, I already uploaded kanina lang some PDF file regarding sa topic natin ngayon. Yun nga lang, kulang pa po yun. Okay, so mag-upload lang ako ulit ng another in which is updated na yung slides na ibibigay ko. Wala nang tanong? Hello?
Wala naman.
So balikan ko lang yung objectives ko. Discuss organs and organelle size involved in the biomedical metabolic pathway. Second, describe the metabolic pathway of glucose, fatty acids, triglycerol, amino acids, and nucleotides. Particularly, since medyo limited na tayo sa time natin, I will discuss some pathway of our glucose, fatty acids natin, and our triacylglycerol. Then, observe the different chemical reaction involved in metabolic pathway and bioenergetics natin. So, balikan lang natin, when we say metabolism, it is the total sum of the chemical reactions happening in our body or in a living organisms. So, we have two types of metabolism. We have the anabolism and catabolism, in which anabolism, it builds up the process of building up of molecules sa katawan natin. Catabolism naman is the process of breaking down molecules in order to provide fuel in our body. So, take note that the currency of energy sa katawan natin, we have our ATP, adenosine triphosphate natin. Okay? So, when it comes to catabolic process natin, kasi more on yung topic natin is about catabolic processes. How are we going to break down those molecules to form energy? Yan. So, pagdating dito sa catabolic process, we have 3 stages. First, yung hydrolysis of dietary macromolecules into small subunits. So, naalala pa ba ano yung mga macromolecules natin? Hello? Buhay pa? Naiintindihan pa ba ako? Nakawala. Ano yung mga macromolecules natin?
Lipids.
Lipids. Yes, we have our lipids. Ano pa?
Amino acid po.
Amino acids.
Protein, ma'am.
We have proteins.
Carbohydrates, ma'am.
Carbohydrates. Yan. Take note yung amino acid under siya sa proteins natin, ha? Yan. Meron pa isa.
Phospholipids, ma'am.
Tapos na yung lipids.
Nucleic acid.
Yun, nucleic acids natin. Okay? So, sila yung ating mga macromolecules natin. So, we need to break down those macromolecules. Like example, yung carbohydrates natin. We are going to break down it to a sugar, simple sugar, particularly monosaccharides natin. Then, our proteins naman, we are going to make it an amino acids. Our lipids naman, maging fatty acids yan sila, simple or saturated fatty acids natin. Saturated or unsaturated fatty acids. Then, our nucleotides naman, eventually, magiging may part doon na amino group, may ibang part yan na papasok as our, para maging carbohydrates natin. So, more on, yan yung mga process na pagdadaanan ng mga macromolecules sa katawan natin. So, yun lang example natin yung sa carbohydrates. If we are going to intake polysaccharides such as starch, So, take note, we have some enzymes sa katawan natin. So, eventually, that polysaccharides will break down, making it disaccharides and monosaccharides. Yan. Stage 2 naman natin is the conversion of monomers into a form that can be completely oxidized. So, dito na papasok yung mga macromolecules natin. Pag na-breakdown na sila to simple compound natin, papasok sila sa pathway natin, particularly with the glycolysis and citric acid cycle. Na yun yung i-discuss ko ngayon. Stage 3 naman, in which pag nakagawa na yung mga molecules natin ng mga NADH, FADH, so yung magpa-process niyan lahat, yung final na magpa-process niyan is our electron transport chain natin. So in stage 3, there is a complete oxidation of the nutrients and the production of ATP natin. Cellular respiration, it is a set of metabolic reaction and processes that takes place in the cell of organisms to convert biochemical energy from nutrients into triphosphate and then releases waste products natin. So, kung ito yung pinakita ko sa inyo nung nakaraan about sa natin, sa pag-aaralan nating metabolic pathways natin. So, take note, pag si glucose nakapasok sa katawan natin, yan, meron siya, pwede siyang mamili ng tatlo. Pwede siyang papasok sa pentose phosphate pathway, pwede siyang mag-proceed with the glycolysis pathway, or it can proceed with the glycogenesis pathway. Pag pipiliin niyo yung pentose phosphate pathway, it means anabolism yung mangyayari. So, kumbaga ba, si glucose, pwede siyang maging RNA, DNA, NADPH, and other macromolecules natin. Okay? So, gagamitin siya para maging, papasok doon sa natin, sa ibang pathways natin. Then, may procedure kasi sa PPP natin na if ever man na ayaw niyang mag-proceed na maging RNA, DNA, pwede siyang lumiko, pwede siyang mag-iba ng landas, pwede siyang pumasok sa glycolysis natin. So, if ever naman si glycolysis si glucose, gusto niyang maging energy, so papasok siya as glycolysis natin. So, sa glycolysis natin, take note, the following are the products of our glycolysis in every 1 unit of glucose. So, sa bawat isang unit ng glucose, it has 2 ATP. Itong 2 ATP na to, net na po to. Okay? So, supposedly it has 4. Since gumamit tayo ng dalawa, so minus 2, kaya dalawa na lang yung ATP na naiwan. So, 2 ATP, 2 NADH, and we have the pyruvate. Yan. Take note kung ano yung kulay ng arrow, yun yung kulay ng yun yung molecules niya. So, like example sa pyruvate brown, so kung brown yung arrow niya, it means si pyruvate proceed siya with the next pathway. So, pagdating sa glycolysis natin, gagamitin natin yung pyruvate. Yan. Proceed with the pyruvate oxidation. And from pyruvate, magiging acetyl-CoA. And this acetyl-CoA papasok with the Krebs cycle. Then, eventually, yung acetyl-CoA natin, nakukuha din natin siya. Aside from pyruvate oxidation, we could get it in the beta oxidation natin. In which, sa end product ng natin, beta oxidation, meron siyang acetyl-CoA na na-form. So, lahat ng acetyl-CoA mag-proceed with the Krebs cycle natin. So, pagdating sa Krebs cycle, we have the following product. 2 carbon dioxide, 1 GTP, 3 NADH, and 2 FADH molecules natin. So, later, i-explain natin yan. Okay? So, lahat ng NADH, FADH na ng katawan natin, actually, meron pang NADH and FADH na produce from beta oxidation. Yan, lahat yan sila will go with the electron transport chain. And i-convert yan ni ETC to ATP. So, 1 NADH, that is equivalent to 2.5 ATP. 1 FADH, that is equivalent to 1.5 ATP. Yan. Nag-discuss na ba ako ng glucose transporter? Wala. Naalala?
Wala.
Wala pa. Yan, sige. So, let's start here with the glucose transporter. So, take note, paano ba nakakapasok yung glucose natin sa loob ng cells natin? So, di ba, nung nakaraan, I've discussed sa inyo about insulins. Like, insulin, parang sila yung nagsiserve ng gate pass natin. Now, this glucose transporter naman, sila naman yung special gate ng mga sugars natin. So, kumbaga ba, hindi sila pwede pumasok sa kahit saang part lang ng cell. May specific gate sila. Okay? So, glucose transporter, they are a wide group of membrane protein that facilitates the transport of glucose across the plasma membrane. So, we have here types of glucose transporter. We have the GLUTs or the glucose transporters, and we have the SGLTs natin or the sodium-dependent glucose transporter. So, ano ba yung difference nila? So, our GLUTs natin, meron silang 14 different types. But yung i-discuss ko lang ngayon is 5. 5 lang yung ibibigay ko, yung important natin. So far, itong mga glucose transporters natin, they are sodium and ATP independent. It means, kaya nilang mag-transport ng glucose without the presence of sodium and ATP. Hindi sila nagre-require ng energy para lang makapag-transport. At the same time, they are ubiquitous in nature. It means present sila kahit saang cell ng katawan natin. Then, yung mga sodium-dependent glucose transporter naman natin, they are sodium-dependent. It means they require sodium para makapasok yung ating glucose. At the same time, nagre-require din sila ng ATP. Kumbaga ba, isa sa mga requirements sila ang sodium and ATP. And located in intestines, renal tubules, and blood-brain barriers natin. So particularly, dito sa tatlo sila present yung mga sodium-dependent glucose transporters natin. Now, let's talk about the GLUT natin. So, diba, na-mention kanina na we have 14 different types. Pero yung i-mention ko lang ngayon, we have 5. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sila yung main natin. But among sa kanilang 5, yung pinaka-important dito is yung GLUT4 natin. In which, si GLUT4 natin, it is an insulin dependent. So, dito na papasok yung insulins natin. Okay? So, saan ba major or present yung mga GLUT4 natin? So, present sila sa skeletal muscle, adipose tissues, and our heart. So, kung titingnan natin yung location niya, kung location ng mga GLUTs natin, doon siya sa part ng katawan natin in which malaki yung demand ng energy. Like example, skeletal muscle for our movement, di ba? Galaw tayo ng galaw. So it requires our muscles requires ATP para maka-produce siya ng reaction. Aside dyan, our tissues and at the same time yung heart natin. So yung heart natin, it contracts involuntarily. So, kumbaga ba, kusa lang siyang nagpapump. So, it still requires energy. So, kung titingnan natin, sa GLUT4 natin, they are insulin dependent. Okay? So, they require the presence of insulin para makapasok yung glucose sa loob ng cells natin. So, the rest, yan, we have our GLUT1, blood-brain barriers natin, the heart, the GLUT2 naman natin sa liver, pancreas, and small intestines, while the 3 is sa brain, neurons, and sperm, while the 5 enterocytes of intestinal and epithelium natin. So, they are insulin independent. So, hindi sila totally nagre-require talaga ng insulins. Question? Okay, sana naintindihan lang po. Yan. Next, we have the SGLTs naman natin. So, yung mga SGLTs natin, yung sodium-dependent glucose transporters natin. So, usually, ang ginagawa kasi nila, kung titingnan natin yung location nila, we have the SGLT1 natin sa intestinal epithelium. Si SGL2 naman natin sa proximal tubules ng nephrons natin, sa kidney natin. So, SGLT1 natin, enterocytes of the intestinal epithelium, in which it is insulin independent. Actually, the SGLTs natin, they are insulin independent. Hindi sila nagre-require ng insulin. Yun nga lang, yung requirements nila is ATP and sodium. Now, si SGLT1 natin, located siya particularly in the intestines for the absorption reabsorption of our glucose. So like example, kakain tayo, yan. So particularly yung mga glucose natin, yun yung yung gate nila is the SGLT1 natin para makapasok sila. Well, the SGL2 naman natin, LT2 natin, yan, yung location naman nila is sa proximal tubules of nephrons natin, sa kidneys natin. Going back doon sa natin, sa topic natin about urinalysis, I've mentioned diba sa inyo that nasasali-sala yung ating sugar sa nephron ng kidneys natin. Yun nga lang, diba, we have the nephron, yung particularly yung glomerulus natin na kung saan doon siya nafi-filter talaga. Yan, diba may mga tube pa tayo? Along the tube, merong mga reabsorption na nangyayari. So, sa tube natin, yan, nagkakaroon ng reabsorption ng ating sugar molecules. Kaya nga, diba, ang sabi ko sa inyo, na although na-absorb siya sa glomerulus natin, pero pagdating sa tubes natin doon, sa natin, sa tubule ng nephron natin, 100% yung reabsorption ng ating glucose. So therefore, imposible talaga na yung glucose na na-absorb doon sa nephron natin, makaabot siya sa ihi. Kasi nare-reabsorb siya along the way, habang papunta siya doon sa ihi natin. Okay? So, usually, yung reason doon, because we have the SGLT2 na located doon sa part ng ating nephron. Wait lang. Sumukay. Sige lang. Okay? So, we have here yung glucose natin. Anong nangyayari sa glucose ng katawan natin? So, take note, isa sa mga important step ng glucose natin para magkaroon siya ng reaction is we need to convert these glucose molecules to glucose 6-phosphate with the use of enzyme glucose 6-phosphatase or hexokinase natin or glucokinase ba yung sa inyo. Take note, anong difference ng glucokinase sa hexokinase natin. Itong hexokinase natin, these are the enzyme responsible if we are going to convert glucose to glucose 6-phosphate at the skeletal muscles. While the glucokinase naman, sila naman yung enzyme na responsible pag nagkakaroon ng conversion ng glucose to glucose 6-phosphate sa liver natin. Okay? So yung difference nila is their location kung saan nangyayari yung conversion ng glucose to glucose 6-phosphate. Gagamit tayo ng hexokinase kung nangyayari sa skeletal muscles. Gagamit tayo ng glucokinase na enzyme kung nangyayari siya sa liver. Nakuha? Iluman ninyo, oy. Nasaktan ba ko
Yes,
ninyo?
ma'am.
Okay.
Opo, ma'am.
Kayo na yung ipapa-explain ko mamaya. Yan. So, I hope naintindihan lang. So, take note, kung titingnan nyo dyan sa assignment ninyo, I think some of you use the glucokinase or the glucose 6-phosphatase. Some of you naman gumamit ng hexokinase or hexo 6-phosphatase natin. Okay? So, particularly sa location lang yung difference nila. Yan. So, we have the glucose and we have this enzyme, glucokinase or hexokinase, making it na i-convert siya to glucose 6-phosphate. So eventually, we're going to utilize here some ATP. Yan. Gagamit tayo ng ATP in which ita-transfer yung isang phosphate group doon sa glucose natin, forming a glucose 6-phosphate. Take note, we use the term kinase. So pag namit natin ang kinase, involve yung ATP and ADP natin. So, ngayon, pag glucose 6-phosphate na siya, yan. So, si glucose 6-phosphate, pipili siya. Kanino siya sasama? Yan. It's either sasama siya kay enzyme na glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase, pwede rin siyang sumama kay phosphoglucomutase, or sasama siya kay phosphohexose isomerase. Take note that pag si glucose 6-phosphate, pinili niya yung glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase. Yung pathway niya is papunta sa PPP natin, the pentose phosphate pathway. Pag pipiliin niya naman si phosphoglucomutase natin, it will proceed with the glycogenesis pathway. isomerase, yan, it will proceed with the glycolysis pathway. So, kumbaga ba, pipili si glucose kaninong enzyme siya sasama. Yan. So, bawat isang enzyme, iba-iba yung fate niya. Yan. Iba-iba yung final product niya. Nakuha lang? Question about dito. I guess wala. Sige. So, for this, sa tatlong ito, yung ifo-focus ko lang talaga i-discuss sa inyo is yung glycolysis natin, particularly ito. Okay? So, we have here, ulitin natin, take note that some of the reaction nangyayari sa cytoplasm, yung iba naman sa mitochondria. May question. Random lang po siya or may factors daw na nag-a-affect sa pagpili niya. May factors po sa pagpili niya. Like example, remember, di ba, ang katawan natin, we have the feedback mechanism sa sa enzymes natin. Yan. So, eventually, like, pag masyadong marami nang naproproduce na RNA and DNA, so pwede yung i-block yung pathway ng ganito natin. So, might be mag-proceed siya for glycolysis. Yan. Like example naman, kulang ng energy yung katawan natin. So, proceed tayo with the glycolysis pathway. So, more on maraming na-produce na isomerase, phosphohexose isomerase natin para maging fructose 6-phosphate siya and proceed with the glycolysis pathway. Yun. So, very good question. Okay? Next, dito naman we have the take note na natin, na yung mga reactions natin, may mga locations yan sila. We have the cytoplasm and the mitochondria natin. Yan. So, take note sa cytoplasm natin, doon nangyayari yung PPP, glycolysis, and the glycogenesis natin. Sa mitochondria naman, doon particularly nangyayari yung beta oxidation, pyruvate oxidation, electron transport chain, and the Krebs cycle. So, take note, in the mitochondria, kaya nga siya di ba tinawag na powerhouse of the cell, kasi most of this reaction nangyayari doon sa mitochondria natin, in which marami talagang energy na naproproduce. Yan. So, usually, itong cytoplasm and mitochondria natin, ito sila, nangyayari to sa eukaryotic cells natin. Yan. Take note that in prokaryotic cells, wala silang mitochondria. So, they still have some beta oxidation, they still have the Krebs cycle. Yun nga lang, it takes place in the cytoplasm for prokaryotic cells. So, let's go with the glycolysis natin. So, known as Embden-Meyerhof pathway. Yan. So, pathway for carbohydrate catabolism in which nagstart tayo with the D-glucose. And glycolysis takes place in the cytocell natin. So, take note, we have the two phase in the glycolysis pathway. Particularly, we have the energy requiring phase and the energy releasing phase natin. So, this is the whole process of the glycolysis. Yan. I know you have your own copy there. Yan. So, sana nagsusulat kayo dyan ng mga important notes natin. So, before I proceed, let's discuss first yung mga enzymes natin sa glycolysis, yung mga key terms na gagamitin ko para magbibigay siya ng hint sa inyo if ever man sa mga questions ko. Okay? Like example, kinase. When we say kinase, pag involve yung kinase doon, involve yung addition or removal, dalawa yan. It adds or remove the phosphate group by taking them from ATP or ADP. Yan. So, it's either may madadagdagan siya ng phosphate or mababawasan siya ng phosphate group. Yan. Pero, dapat involve yung ATP and ADP natin. Kasi may mga time sa reaction na nadagdagan siya ng phosphate group pero hindi galing sa ATP and ADP. So, hindi yun siya kinase. So, take note, kinase, yan, related si phosphate group, galing sa ATP natin. Isomerase naman, enzyme which rearrange the structures of the substance without changing the molecular formula. So, nagkakaroon ng restructurization. Yan. So, take note, they have the same molecular formula, yan, but they are different in structures. Sige, para mas maintindihan nyo, kinase, please look at your copy. Yan. Sige. Take note dito sa naka-numbering tong mga enzyme. number, pakinumberan po yung mga enzyme. Gaya ng pag-number ko dito. Para we have the same mind as I talk. Pag sinabi kong enzyme 3, yan, both tayo iniisip yung phosphofructokinase. Na-number na? Hello?
Wait lang, ma'am. Wait lang po.
Yes, ma'am. Okay na, na-numberan na?
Yes, ma'am.
Ngayon, sino sa kanila yung may enzyme na kinase? Number lang, number. Number ng enzyme.
1, ma'am.
We have 1,
7.
6,
ma'am. And 10, ma'am.
10, meron pang isa.
3, ma'am.
Yon, 1, 3, 7, and 10. So kung titingnan ninyo kinase, they use the enzyme kinase and involve yung ATP and ADP natin. Nakita? So take note, pagdating naman sa product, like example, dito sa 1, from glucose, yan, glucose 6-phosphate. Yan, so kung titingnan natin, nadagdagan siya ng phosphate group. Yan. For number 3 naman natin, from fructose 6-phosphate, naging fructose 1,6-bisphosphate siya. So, nadagdagan siya ng another phosphate group dito. For number 7 naman natin, from 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate, naging 3-phosphoglycerate na lang siya. Nabawasan. Although nabawasan siya, but still involved pa rin yung ATP and ADP natin. Then sa 10 natin, we have the phosphoenol pyruvate natin, naging pyruvate siya. So, involved pa rin yung ating ADP or ATP sa molecules natin. Nakuha lang? Next, isomerase. Sino sa kanila ang nag-exhibit ng isomerization? Number.
2, ma'am.
2. Ano pa?
5.
5. Yes. May isa pa? Sino sa kanila? Kung papansinin niyo yung mga isomerase natin, wala silang involved na mga co-substrate natin. Yan. Walang ADP, walang NAD na nakikita. Kung papansinin ninyo. Walang nadagdag, wala ring nabawasan doon sa reactions natin. May isa pa. We have the phosphoglyceromutase natin. Take note, mutase, yan, sana naalala nyo pa, kasali yan sila sa isomerase natin. Family yan sila ng isomerases natin. Okay, so we have particularly 2, number 5, and number 8 natin. Next, aldose naman natin. They are an enzyme that creates or breaks carbon-to-carbon bond natin. So in this case, particularly, we have step number 4 natin, in which we have the 6-carbon fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. Yan. Na-breakdown siya to the 2,3-carbon molecules natin. Dalawang molecules na may tigtatatlong carbon. Yun. So, it breaks down to dihydroxyacetone and glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. Dehydrogenase naman natin moves the hydride ion to electron acceptor. Sige, sino dito ang may dehydrogenase?
6.
Oh, Miss Ahmad? Hello? Kita ko si Miss Ahmad kanina.
6, ma'am.
Sige, Miss Ahmad, ano yung nakikita mo dyan sa reaction ng number 6 natin? Ano yung mga involved pa aside kay glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate? Hello? Aside kay glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, ano pa yung involved? Mr. Velario, pakitanggal ko muna yung yung red. Huwag kang mag-annotate, please. Yun. Asan na yan si Miss Ahmad? Wala? Miss Yongson. How about Miss Yongson?
Ma'am?
Ano yung napapansin mo dito sa 6 natin? Yan. Aside sa natin, ano pa yung mga involved? Aside sa glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate and this enzyme, ano pa yung nakikita mo na involved dito? Ano yung pumasok? Ano yung lumabas?
May pumasok na hydrogen.
Hydrogen? Hydrogen ba?
Ano yung P, ma'am? Wait lang. Wait lang, ma'am.
Okay, the phosphate. May pumasok na independent phosphate group. Ano pa?
Itong NAD to NADH plus H.
May pumasok din na NAD molecules natin and another NADH molecules natin. So take note, pag maka-encounter mo og mga dehydrogenases gani, kung pansinin ninyo ang reaction, kung papansinin niyo yung reaction nila, yan, involve yung NADH or FADH natin dyan. Okay? So, kumbaga ba, hint lang yan. Some hint na ibibigay ko sa inyo. Mutase naman, it is an isomerase and inolase removing of hydroxyl group natin. So, inolase particularly in step 9 natin, yan, we have the enzyme enolase natin in which nag-release siya ng water molecule. So, kung titingnan natin itong 2-phosphoglycerate natin, natanggalan siya ng OH group, dyan na part, yan, then, making it a phosphoenol pyruvate natin. So, nagkakaroon ng variation. Okay? Sige. So, proceed energy requiring phase natin. So, in this phase sa glycolysis natin, glycolysis pa po tayo, yan. This is the phase in which kakailanganin natin gumamit ng ATP. Kaya siya energy requiring phase. As I mentioned kanina, supposedly, sa isang glucose unit, it could be able to produce 4 ATP. Yun nga lang, since gumamit tayo ng dalawang ATP, yun, dalawa na lang yung net product niya. So, yung dalawang ATP na ginamit natin, dito yun siya sa energy requiring phase natin. So, particularly, saan dito? Saang part ang gumamit tayo ng energy? Number ulit.
1, 3.
1, ma'am.
1 and 3, ma'am.
1, yes.
1.
Ano pa?
3, ma'am. 3.
We have our 3. Okay? So, 1 and 3 natin, sila yung nag-utilize tayo ng ATP molecule. So, ito yung sinabi ko sa inyo kanina na gumamit ng dalawang ATP. Next, energy releasing phase naman. So, in this phase, dito na tayo, dito na phase in which nagre-release tayo ng ATP and NADH natin. Mga forms of energy natin. Particularly, yung currency ng energy ng katawan natin is ATP. But we still consider also the NADH as somehow energy siya kasi later on, si NADH nako-convert siya to ATP. Okay? So, ito yung mga part in which may na-release na ATP and NADH sa reactions natin. O particularly, anong number?
6.
4. 6. Yan.
6.
We have 6. Wala pa yung 4. Tapos na tayo dun sa 1 to 5. Dito na tayo sa 6 to 10. We have number 6. Ano pa?
7.
7. Very good. Next.
10.
We have number
10, ma'am.
10, ma'am.
Okay. So sila yung tatlo natin na tatlong enzyme natin na nagre-release sila ng energy sa katawan natin. So this is the energy releasing phase natin. Now, isa-isahin natin bawat step. So we have the step 1, glucose forming a glucose 6-phosphate natin. So makinig lahat. I will call one by one. Kayo yung ipapa-observe ko dito anong nangyari. So example muna, we have here step 1 natin. Si glucose, naging glucose 6-phosphate siya with the use of our enzyme hexokinase natin. It's either hexokinase or glucokinase. Glucokinase kung sa liver, hexokinase naman kung sa muscles natin. So take note, si glucose naging glucose 6-phosphate siya. So paano nagkaroon ng phosphate group si glucose natin? So kinuha natin from ATP. So ATP, we have the co-substrate natin sa reactant side, our ATP. Isusuko niya yung phosphate group niya, ibibigay niya yung phosphate group niya. So lalabas siya as ADP. Then, yung phosphate niya combine with the glucose, forming a glucose 6-phosphate natin. Now, take note, we have here na natin, para mas mapadali sa inyo, yan, we have the glucose, reactant natin, yung main substrate. We have the ATP, the reactant natin, yung co-substrate. And we have our enzyme. Yung product natin na co-substrate naman natin is ADP. Yung product na main natin is our glucose 6-phosphate. Take note, ito sila yung mga main natin na mga substrate, ha? Yan. So, take note, ito yung reactant na side and this is our product side. So, naiintindihan lang siya.
Okay.
Question. Yan. Mamaya mismo, anong ibig sabihin ng NADH? Mamaya, pag-uusapan natin yung NADH. Yan. Wala nang question dito. Yan. This is only for the step 1. Now, for the step 2 naman natin, glucose 6-phosphate is converted into its isomer. We have the fructose 6-phosphate. Take note, in the step number 2 natin, gumamit tayo ng enzyme na isomerase. So, isomerization, nagkakaroon ng restructurization. So, walang involved na mga co-substrate na nandito, walang pumasok, walang lumabas na mga molecules. We just arrange the molecules na nandito. So, from glucose, gagawin natin siyang fructose. Yan. By the way, babalikan ko lang, bakit kailangan natin i-convert si glucose to glucose 6-phosphate? Kailangan natin i-unstable yung molecules natin para mag-proceed siya with the different reactions. That's why it is important that glucose should be converted to glucose 6-phosphate natin. So, itong si glucose 6-phosphate natin, pag pipiliin niya yung phosphoglucose isomerase natin na enzyme, proceed siya na maging glycolysis with the glycolysis pathway, kaya magiging glucose 6-phosphate siya. So, nagkakaroon ng rearrangement ng molecules natin. Okay, particularly dito na part. From aldehyde, gagawin natin siyang ketone group. Next, step 3 natin. Sige. I want to hear Miss Silana. Silana Belonio Constantino. Nasa 3 lang. Anyone? Wala? Absent?
Ako, ma'am.
Ayun, sige. Proceed. Ano yung ma-observe mo dito sa step 3 natin?
Para sa akin, ma'am, same siya doon sa number 1. Yung, since kinase sila dalawa, so, naggamit ng energy which is ATP. And then, yung ATP naging ADP plus P. Tapos, yung isang P nag-release ng ATP na lipat, na lagay siya doon sa fructose 6-phosphate. Tapos, since meron ng phosphate doon sa 6, so yung isa na phosphate nag-release lang, gilagay siya doon sa number 1. Kaya, fructose 1,6-diphosphate po.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Johnson. Very good. Yun. Take note, correction ko lang dito. That is bisphosphate. Yan, hindi po yan bi. Bis yan ha. Paki-correct lang. Iba ang bi sa bis. Tinawag siyang bis kasi although we have 2 phosphate group, pero hindi sila magkasunod. Nasa kabilang dulo sila. So, bis yung dapat na gagamitin natin. Okay? So, in this reaction from fructose 6-phosphate, may pumasok na naman na another phosphate group from our ATP, forming na fructose 1,6-bisphosphate natin. Ma'am, ano yung mga ibig sabihin ng number dyan? Like example, fructose 1,6-bisphosphate, it is the location of our phosphate group. Yan. Kung titingnan natin yung location ng phosphate group natin sa fructose molecules natin, nasa carbon number 1 and nasa carbon number 6 siya. Kaya siya tinawag na fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. Very good yun kanina. Okay? So, in this step, it is catalyzed by the enzyme phosphofructokinase, which can be regulated to speed up or slow down the glycolysis pathway. Take note, in this step, isa to sa mga pinaka-importanting step natin sa glycolysis because it is the rate-limiting step in our glycolysis cycle. So, pag sinabi natin rate-limiting step, in which dito na part na kayang i-limit ng glycolysis pathway yung production natin ng pyruvate. Like example, pag si pyruvate, pag masyado kasing marami ng production ng pyruvate, si pyruvate pwede siyang magsisend ng signal dito sa enzymes natin. Wait lang ha, parang may mali. Wait lang. May kulang ako, sandali lang talaga. Saan na yun? Hello? Yan. So, take note, ito kasi na part sa step 3 natin, able to siya ma-regulate na part. So, we have here some regulations natin sa step 3 natin. Ano yung nakakapag-activate natin sa enzyme natin na phosphofructokinase? Ano naman yung nakakapag-inhibit naman sa activity ni phosphofructokinase natin? So, nagiging or na-activate yung ating phosphofructokinase natin with increased level of AMP. It means mataas yung level ng adenosine monophosphate natin, which indicates na mababa yung energy level ng katawan natin. So eventually, pag mataas si AMP, mababa yung energy, so mas ini-encourage niya si phosphofructokinase natin na magtrabaho pa more para marami siyang ma-release na pyruvate. So pag maraming pyruvate, maraming energy yung maibibigay sa katawan natin. Another is, nakakapag-activate din yung molecules natin na fructose 2,6-bisphosphate natin. Yan. So, ito medyo complicated na kasi ito siya. Yan. Nahihirapan akong i-explain siya actually in actual sa inyo, ay in online. I really prefer na i-explain siya in ano. Kasi medyo, dito talaga na part, complicated to dito. Marami somehow na involved. But take note lang, isa sa mga molecules na nakakapag-encourage kay phosphofructokinase natin is si fructose 2,6-bisphosphate natin. CD chat. Okay. Next is another thing is ano naman yung nakakapag-stop, inhibit sa activity ni phosphofructokinase natin. So, nasa-stop lang siya pag mataas yung level ng ATP sa katawan or adenosine triphosphate. So, it means mataas na yung energy level. Then, another thing is increased citrate level. Itong citrate na to, doon nyo yan makikita sa Krebs cycle. So, tingnan nyo yung Krebs cycle, particularly yung first enzyme na nandun si citrate. Okay? So, pag maraming citrate, yan, so, nagbibigay siya ng signal doon kay tree. Tama na yung production mo, phosphofructokinase. Kasi marami ng citrate. Pag marami kasing citrate, it means maraming molecules ang mag-proceed with the Krebs cycle. So, mas marami pong ATP din na nare-release yung Krebs cycle natin. For the step 4 naman natin, sige. Step 4, I want to hear kolong. Wala si kolong. Either kolong, favorib, Delobio. Sino sa tatlo?
Magonsa, ma'am.
Favorib. Sige, Mr. Favorib. Can you please describe what happened to step 4? Wala. Tama na ako sa'yo. So, I cannot. Sige, ano nangyari sa step 4 natin? Anyone who would try?
Yes, sir.
Ayun, Favorib. Hindi ko maintindihan. Medyo putol-putol ka.
Wait lang.
Sige, try nyo. Alam ka, pag hindi nyo ito nasubukan, ako. Naintindihan ba talaga ako? O naghahang na inyo ang mga utak? Hello? Walang sasagot. Na-explain ko na to kanina. Oh, particularly, we have fructose bisphosphate aldolase. Miss Himotea.
So, from the step 3 po, ang product na which is fructose 1,6-bisphosphate, ang ginawa sa step 4 po is separate ang 6 carbons which is from fructose 1,6-bisphosphate into 2, which is yung magiging dihydroacetone and dihydroacetone phosphate, and yung yung glyceraldehyde triphosphate. So yun po ang 4 po, sa 4.
Okay, thank you, Miss Humadea. Very good. So, take note, gumamit tayo ng aldolase. Ano yung definition ganyan ng aldolase? Hindi pa yan aldol sa aldolase yun. It breaks down carbon-to-carbon bond natin. So, may nangyayaring breakage of the carbon-carbon bond natin. Yan, forming dihydroxyacetone and glyceraldehyde triphosphate natin. Miss Humadea, ilang carbon meron si dihydroxyacetone? At saka si glyceraldehyde.
3 po, ma'am. 3 po kasi yung 6 po doon sa fructose 1,6-bisphosphate.
Okay, very good. So, tatlo-tatlo sila. At the same time, even din yung proportion ng phosphate group natin. So, from 2, yan, isa-isa din sila ng phosphate group natin. So, take note, in this step, there is a cleavage of carbon-to-carbon bond natin from fructose molecule forming a dihydroxyacetone and a glyceraldehyde natin. Next, sa step 5 naman natin, take note. Si glycerol, di ba sa step 4 natin, dalawa yung na-form, dihydroxyacetone and si glyceraldehyde. Take note ha, dalawa yung product niya. Ngayon, ang nangyayari, si glyceraldehyde triphosphate, proceed na siya doon sa step 6. Pwede na siyang hindi mag-proceed ng step 5. Okay? Only si glyceraldehyde lang. Yan. Pero, si dihydroxyacetone natin, yan, hindi pa siya pasok sa qualification para mag-proceed with the step 6 natin. Okay? So, ang mangyayari, itong si natin, dihydroxyacetone natin, kailangan natin siyang iretoke. Yan. Kailangan natin iretoke si dihydroxyacetone, dapat magiging kamukha niya si glyceraldehyde triphosphate. So, that's why gumamit tayo ng enzyme na triose phosphate isomerase. So, i-restructure natin si dihydroxyacetone para maging kamukha niya na si glyceraldehyde triphosphate natin. Okay? So, ngayon ang tanong, ilang glyceraldehyde triphosphate na ang kayang magawa ng isang glucose molecules natin?
Two, ma'am.
Yan. So, we have 2 molecules of our glyceraldehyde triphosphate. Making it na pagdating natin sa step 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 natin, nagta-times 2 po yung reaction natin. Nagkakaroon ng double reaction. Kasi nga, di ba, meron tayong dalawang glyceraldehyde triphosphate. Making it na yung product natin, meron tayong nagagawang dalawang pyruvate molecules. So, we have the glyceraldehyde triphosphate in step 6 natin. Yan. From glyceraldehyde triphosphate, magiging 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate siya. Sige, paki-describe anong nangyari sa glyceraldehyde triphosphate at saka sa 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. Miss Nakilan? Beherano? Season? Sino sa inyo? Madugayan kita kung di mo manubag. Pansinin nyo lang, anong nangyari? Anong nadagdag?
May addition ng phosphate group, ma'am.
Miss Maliga, ano yan?
May addition ng phosphate group, ma'am.
So, kung titignan natin, glyceraldehyde triphosphate, isa lang yung phosphate niya. Pagdating sa natin, sa product natin, naging 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate siya. Therefore, dagdagan siya ng another phosphate group natin, another phosphate molecules natin. So, making it na nagiging 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. Pero kung titingnan natin yung reaction, involves si phosphate group, pero hindi kinase yung ginamit natin dito. Rather, we use the glyceraldehyde triphosphate dehydrogenase. So kung papansinin natin, since we use the dehydrogenase dito, tas involve yung phosphate natin, therefore, yung phosphate na ginamit natin, hindi galing kay ATP molecules natin. reducer na talagang pumasok sa reactions natin. At the same time, another molecules na pumasok, we have the NAD molecules natin, in which kumuha siya ng hydrogen, kinuha niya yung hydrogen natin na part, ang purpose niya talaga is i-unstable si glyceraldehyde triphosphate natin. Tatanggalan niya ng hydrogen para si phosphate group dito mag-attach doon sa natanggal na hydrogen natin. So, may nangyaring reduction, yan, from NAD naging NADH. Familiar with the reduction natin? Diba, it is a process in which there is an addition of a hydrogen, carbon-hydrogen bonds natin. So, particularly dito, yung from NAD, na-reduce siya, forming an NADH molecules natin. So, ito na part sa sa number 6 natin. Ito yung unang part na nag-release tayo ng energy. Okay? Next, we have number 7 natin. Si 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate natin, naging 3-phosphoglycerate siya. So, kung titingnan natin dito, para lang silang nagdagdag ng phosphate tapos nag-let go na naman. So, at this time, nag-let go na naman tayo ng another phosphate group. Yan. So, dito papasok yung ATP molecules natin. So, dito, since we are using the enzyme kinase, so we need to use the ADP natin na molecules. Involved na yung ATP and ADP natin. Step 7 naman natin, we have the 3-phosphoglycerate natin forming a 2-phosphoglycerate molecules natin. Yan. So dito, isomerization lang, in which ililipat natin yung phosphate group natin from 3rd carbon papunta doon sa 2nd carbon natin. And for the step 9 natin, yan, phosphoglycerate loses a water molecule, nag-release siya ng water molecule, forming a phosphoenol pyruvate natin. So, tinanggalan natin siya ng water molecule, kung papansinin natin sa 3rd carbon, i-prepare natin siya for final product niya, which is our pyruvate molecules natin. So, sa step 10 natin, yun yung phosphate, yung isang phosphate group na naiwan, i-let go natin. Okay? So, this time, gagamit tayo ng enzyme, the pyruvate kinase. As we use the pyruvate kinase enzyme, involved na yung ADP and ATP natin. So, there is a release of ATP. So, kung titingnan natin sa reactions natin, yung enzyme na involved natin sa 6, 7, and 10 natin, doon po yung releasing ng mga energy natin. Now, in step 10 natin, nire-regulate din itong step 10 natin. So, ano yung mga nakakapag-regulate or sino-sino yung nagre-regulate kay step 10? Particularly kay pyruvate kinase natin na enzyme. So, pyruvate kinase can be encouraged or can be activated for our insulins, fructose 1,6, and fructose 1,6 bisphosphate natin. Now, si pyruvate kinase naman, kaya silang ipastop by increased ATP and increased level of acetyl-CoA and glucagon sa katawan natin. So, ito kasi acetyl-CoA natin, si pyruvate, pwede siyang ma-convert to acetyl-CoA. Okay? Tapos si acetyl-CoA, yun kasi yung requirement natin. Si acetyl-CoA, yung requirement molecules natin para mag-proceed siya with beta oxidation. Ngayon, si acetyl-CoA, hindi lang siya nakukuha galing kay pyruvate. Nakukuha din siya galing doon sa beta oxidation natin. So, later i-explain natin yan. But, nasa illustration ko na yan yung kanina, yung color red at saka blue, yung mitochondria and cytoplasm. Yan, tingnan nyo po ulit doon na aside kay glycolysis, yung beta oxidation, may product din siya na acetyl-CoA. Okay? Wait lang. Yan. So, we have here the end products of our glycolysis. Yan. Sa end product ng glycolysis natin, ito yung tandaan ninyo, sa bawat isang molecules ng glucose natin, may 2 pyruvate molecules na nare-release. Aside dyan, 1. And we have 2 NADH molecules natin. Yan. Ito na yung question kanina. Anong ibig sabihin ng FADH and the NADH natin? So, FADH is flavin adenine dinucleotides. NADH naman is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotides natin. So, they are involved pagdating sa reduction or redox reaction ng katawan natin, particularly in Krebs cycle and in our electron transport chain natin. So, these two molecules, they are utilized or it can be converted sa ETC natin para maging ATP po siya. Actually, yung kinukuha lang talaga natin dito is yung hydrogen. Yan. Sige, balikan natin yung process natin. Wait lang, Bre. Ma'am, paano ka na, example ha, like kung paano ba ako nagtatanong dyan sa mga exams or sa mga quizzes ninyo. So, example ng question ko, what is the enzyme involved when glucose 6-phosphate is converted to fructose 6-phosphate? Ano sagot? The enzyme involved in the conversion of glucose 6-phosphate to fructose 6-phosphate.
Isomerase.
Ayan.
Phosphoglucose isomerase na.
Phosphoglucose isomerase natin. Next, another thing. What is the co-substrate release when glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate becomes 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate? The co-substrate release or the co-substrate product when glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate becomes 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. Okay, Miss Aquino answer, she answered NADH. Yes, very good. Yung tanong ko kasi is co-substrate. Okay? Another. What is the co-reactant used when phosphoenol pyruvate becomes pyruvate? The co-substrate in the reactant used when phosphoenol pyruvate becomes pyruvate.
Pyruvate kinase, ma'am.
I'm asking for the co-reactant. Yan. We have Isacobo, which is ADP po. Yan. Reactant man ako na side. Yan. Kaya nga, di ba sabi ko, as much as, sige lang, magbibigay ako ng assignment sa inyo na papagawan ko kayo ng ganito sa bawat steps. Okay? Yan. Last. Name an enzyme that utilizes ATP molecules. Name at least one enzyme that utilizes ATP molecules in the glycolysis pathway. Miss Maliga, answer hexokinase. Ano pa?
Fructokinase.
Phosphofructokinase.
Phosphoglycerate kinase.
Phosphoglycerate kinase. And we have the pyruvate kinase.
Pyruvate kinase.
So take note guys, sa exam ninyo, pagdating sa exam, multiple choice yun siya. So somehow, kaya nga binigay ko sa inyo kanina yung mga hint. Pag sinabi natin kinase, involved sa ATP, so expect kayo na pagdating sa reactant and product, involved yung ATP and ADP natin. Yan. Pag dehydrogenase, involved si NADH and FADH natin. Yan. So hopefully, magamit niyo yung mga hint na binigay ko sa inyo, yan, pagdating na sa ano natin, sa exam natin. So, what are the FADH2? Ito ko sa to, sorry. Yan, what happened to pyruvate and NADH sa katawan natin, di ba? Nag-glycolysis. Yan, yung product natin na NADH and FADH natin. So, at the end of the glycolysis, there are 2 ATP, 2 NADH, and 2 pyruvate molecules natin. So, if oxygen is available, the pyruvate can be broken down or can be oxidized all the way to carbon dioxide in the cellular respiration, making many molecules of ATP natin. Yan. Yung NADH naman natin, they will proceed with the electron transport chain natin. Ngayon, focus tayo kay pyruvate. Si pyruvate kasi, may 3 phase siya. Kumbaga ba, after niyang maging pyruvate, meron siyang 3 kahihinatnan na molecules natin. Yan, nakadepende sa environment niya. Actually, 2 lang pagdating sa katawan natin, sorry. 2 lang sa katawan natin, ha? Particularly, we have the anaerobic and the aerobic oxidation. Anaerobic, pag walang oxygen or kulang ng oxygen yung katawan natin. Aerobic naman, within the presence of our oxygen molecules natin. Now, yung anaerobic respiration natin, yan, we have these pyruvate molecules natin. Ngayon, si pyruvate molecules natin, kung walang oxygen, papasok yung NADH natin, magbibigay siya ng hydrogen, yan, then lalabas siya as NAD. So, magbibigay siya ng hydrogen kay pyruvate natin, making it na si pyruvate magiging lactate na siya. And this lactate, yan, ito yung nagko-cause somehow ng pain sa mga katawan natin, particularly sa mga muscles natin. Yan. Yung sa cramps, yan, muscle cramps, yun. Yung parang na-over yung natin, yung muscles natin, actually, nakulangan na siya ng oxygen. Kaya nagka-cramps yung muscles natin. And di ba yun yung masakit? Yan. Pamaol. Familiar with the pamaol? The term? Hello? Hi.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Diba minsan ginapamaulan kapag sige taglihok? Yan, kasi na-over yung ng katawan natin, nakulang na ng oxygen na part. So there will be already a production of lactate na po. Yan. Aerobic oxidation naman, ito talaga yung madalas na nangyayari. Sa aerobic oxidation natin, in which mag-proceed na yan siya to Krebs cycle. So, si pyruvate, i-convert natin siya to acetyl-CoA, forming na papasok siya doon, papasok na siya sa Krebs cycles natin. Ito namang isa, anaerobic, sa fermentation to, alcohol fermentation. Si pyruvate magiging acetaldehyde, then later magiging ethanol. Yan. So, anaerobic respiration particularly states that it is the pathway where the glucose is broken down into molecules in the absence of oxygen to produce energy. Yan. Now, nagpa-drawing ko sa inyo o gluconeogenesis, tama. No? Sa gluconeogenesis natin, we will still use the same enzyme. Yun nga lang, except sa 3 step natin. So, ito, na-summarize ko na siya. Yan. Ano yung enzyme na magkakaiba sa glycolysis and gluconeogenesis natin? Kumbaga ba, yung gluconeogenesis natin, it is the reverse process of our glycolysis. Yan. So, gagawa tayo ng glucose molecules dito from the pyruvate natin. So, dito na step, we have the hexokinase. Rather than using the hexokinase, we will use the glucose 6-phosphatase. Rather than using the phosphofructokinase, we will use the fructose 1,6-bisphosphatase. And rather than using the pyruvate So, particularly, ito na mga reactions. Ito, use the red one. Ito sila nagkakaiba. Ito na part. Oxaloacetate, actually, hindi yan siya enzyme. Sige lang. Then, we also have yung isa. May isa pa. Wait lang, hindi pala to. Sorry. Ito pala, sorry, baliktad. Ito. And we also have here phosphate. May isa, wait lang ha. Hindi ko mahanap ng isa. Ano nga yun? Okay. Si hexokinase natin. Ba sa taas? Ito. Yan. So, yan yung tatlo na na nag-iiba sa gluconeogenesis natin. So, the rest, kung memorize yung glycolysis, yan, eventually, memorize na rin yung gluconeogenesis. Idagdag nyo lang tong tatlong enzyme na to. Yan. So, let's proceed with the oxidation of our pyruvate natin. So, anong mangyayari sa pyruvate natin? So, proceed sila doon sa natin, sa pyruvate decarboxylate complex natin, or pyruvate dehydrogenase complex. Yan. So, in which, si pyruvate natin, mako-convert siya to acetyl-CoA. Yan. So, kailangan natin siya i-convert to acetyl-CoA kasi pagdating sa Krebs cycle, yung requirement natin sa Krebs cycle is dapat naka-acetyl-CoA siya. Yan. So, kailangan natin i-convert si pyruvate to acetyl-CoA. Now, if you're going to observe, pyruvate is a 3-carbon molecule, while acetyl-CoA naman is 2 lang. Therefore, along reactions natin, may nare-release na carbon dioxide. Kaya ang another name natin dito sa sa ating oxidation of pyruvate natin is pyruvate decarboxylation. Kasi matatanggalan siya ng isang carbon molecules. Now, sa pagtanggal ng carbon molecules natin, here comes a coenzyme na papasok. Coenzyme A will enter in the reaction involved. Then, papalitan niya yung part in which saan nag-release or saan na part natanggal yung carbon dioxide natin. And another thing, may reduction na nangyayari pagdating natin sa NAD plus natin, forming an NADH molecules natin. Sana naintindihan lang. Yan. So, in this oxidation, natin, of pyruvate natin, there is a release of carbon dioxide, another release of NADH molecules natin. So, may energy pa rin nare-release dito na part. Wait lang ha. Question. Naintindihan pa ako. Sige, bahala na kayo dyan kung maintindihan niyo ako. Sige, so let's proceed with the Krebs cycles natin. So sa Krebs cycles natin, yan, it is a part of a cellular respiration. Other name, also known as the citric acid cycle and also known as Hans-Krebs because it is discovered by Hans-Krebs natin. And at the same time, tinawag din siyang tricarboxylic acid because we are utilizing a 3-carbon or 3-carboxyl group na nandito. So, in eukaryotic cells, citric acid takes place in the mitochondria. In prokaryotes naman, it takes place in the cytoplasm. Yan. So, this is the whole Krebs cycle natin. Hi! Medyo maingay dito, sorry. Sige, ganito na lang. Let's have a break first. Mga 15 minutes. Let's resume by 2:05. Hello? Natulog na mo?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Natulog na mo, yung sa break muna, 15 minutes. Resume by 2:05.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.